Hello everyone, this is Satya Sai. I hope all of you are doing very well. I know it's been a while, but let us restart our C++ language. Before that, I have two small disclaimers. First one, cigarette smoking, alcohol consumption, and having multiple relationships in engineering is injurious to your health. Second one, the content you're going to watch is purely fictional. Any resemblance to any outside world content is sheer coincidence. All right, so let us start. Now, tell me this. When you click on a program and execute it, the application will run, correct? Who will run the application? Your operating system will run your application, correct? In the same way, the programs which you write, it is also a mini application. And who will run these mini applications? You got it? It is operating systems. Clear? Now, in your program, right, we write hundreds of lines of code. But how will the operating system know where to start? It won't know. So that's why we write code inside the main. And this main acts as an entry point to the program. So that's why in most of the codes in your C, C++ or Java, you must have seen codes with main. And the reason for that is it acts as an entry point of the program. Now say you're running an application, some application, and for some reason it got abruptly ended. In that case, you must have seen some number exit code and the abnormal termination. The reason for that is when you run an application, if it is successfully executed, it will return something back to the OS, indicating that it is successfully executed. Similarly, when if it is abruptly terminated, it will return something back so that the OS can understand, oh, look, this got terminated. In the same way, the programs which you are writing should also kind of do the same thing. So that is the reason at the end you write return. Now you're writing this at the end. If at all till this particular point, you're not having any issues, that means, can I say it is successfully executed? Yes. So because of that, I'll write 0. Here 0 indicates successful completion, successful execution. Now, can I say the 0 is actually an integer? Of course, you can argue that it's a whole number, but for time being, the 0 comes under integer. So can I say we are returning an integer? Because of that, in front of main, you'll write int main. It is indicating that, look, you are returning int. Is that making sense? Now, we are done with our very first code. Let us run and check what will happen. We got an output here. Let us see. Oh, here we are getting an error. That's right, guys. The reason why you're getting is any line, it should end with a semicolon. The semicolon tells ki this particular line is done. That is one single line. So ending lines with semicolon is one of the most important things. Now let us run the same code once again. That's it. You're not getting any output because you are not printing anything. But since you're not getting any error, we are actually done with our very first program. So yay. And say you want to print something. The syntax for that is you will write cout, 2 left arrows, and inside the full columns, you'll write what you want to print. For suppose, what is the first thing you want to print? Hello world. So you will simply write hello world. And after this line, what is it we have to write? Semicolon. So let us keep the semicolon and run this. The output should be hello world. But here comes the catch. The cout which we are using, did we implement it or did we define it on our own? Not really. It was already there and we are using it, correct? The things which were already there, and if we use them, That is called as predefined thing. They're already defined. And when you want to use a predefined thing, we should include its library. How will that happen? On top of main, you will say hash include and the library name. In this case, the cout comes from something called as IOStream, STREAM. All right, done. Now let us run the same program again. Now it should give you hello world. Still it is not working. Any guesses? Although this inclusion is correct, there is one line which you have to use, that is namespace std and end with semicolon. Now first let us run and check whether at least now it is working or not. Let us see the output here. Congratulations everyone, it worked. Now the immediate question which is there in your mind is, sir, what is this using namespace std? Don't worry, this I'll give the reason in the next couple of days. So with that, now you know how to write your very first program. So shall we see a couple of questions? Let us see a couple of questions. Say for suppose you're writing cout A, cout B, and cout C. If for suppose I run this program, what will be the output? Will it be ABC vertically or will it be ABC horizontally? Pause the video and check. All right, let us see what is the output. Array, it is coming ABC horizontally, but as per lines, you wrote them vertically, right? I mean, the computer can at least have that common sense, it should come vertically. Ideally, right? Turns out the computer doesn't even have that much sense. So what you have to do is you explicitly have to mention to the system key, look, this after this line, go to the next line and print. To do that, you will say /n. Now, if you run your program, can you think what will be the output? Pass and think. All right. Right. Now here you can see the line A is coming in one line. Now you're clicking /n. That means go to the next line and print B and C together. Now say for suppose after B, you want C. They have to be a line between them. So here you can say, well, after B, line C. Now if you'll execute your line, if you'll execute your program, now you'll get A, B, C. This is a very simple program. If you understood this in the same way, okay, let me give you a small question. If say for suppose we run this program, how will the output look like? Pause for a second, think, try it out. All right, let us see. As you can see, after A, it is saying /n. So go to next line. After B, it is again saying /n. So go to next line. After C, is there any /n? Not really. So it will print in the same line. Now, D, it will come in the same line and /n is coming. So once again, it will go to the next line and it will print E. So understand this. The moment you are having a /n, it will immediately go to the next line. So if you're running this program, you are getting A, B, C, D, and E. C and D in the same line. Now I have a small question for everyone. Say for suppose you have to run the program, but the output should be, you should get output in this order: A, next line B, next line D, next line should be E. Somehow you should skip the line cout C. But don't tell me, sir, I'll remove that particular line. No, you can't do that. But still you should get the output as A, B, D, E. Any guesses? Couple of you might know it. For remaining students, don't worry guys. The idea is very simple. There is something called as comments. If you can just do this, what it says, it will exempt this line entirely from execution. This idea is comments. So if you want to skip a single line, you can simply keep two slashes, two forward slashes in front of a line, and that entire line will be exempted from execution. Say for suppose now if you execute this line, execute this program, what will be the output? It will be A, D, E. Why? Because you're skipping line C out B and C out C, and you're only executing A, D, and E. All right. If you want to skip a single line from execution, you will simply keep two forward slashes in front of the line. Say first suppose. Let us say you are having few more lines of code here, right? G, this is say we are having few more lines of code. Say for suppose you want to exempt these 4 lines of code from execution. One way is you can keep forward slashes for all these 4 lines individually. But you can see that this is not very an ideal process, right? Like adding forward slash for each line, that's not really, good idea. So what you can do is, instead of keeping it in this way, you can also exempt all of them at a single stretch in this manner. So all the lines between this forward slash and the backward slash will be excluded from execution. If say we run this program now, the output will be A, B, and F. We are getting a compiled output because we skipped the semicolon here. So let us include that. A, B, and F. That'll be it for today, guys. I'll also provide a small assignment link in the comments. Please check that out, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.